Don't forget to go ahead. I just hit the mic. Hey, what's going on, you guys? I'm Veggie Rose. Welcome back to our channel. And if this is your first time stopping by, don't forget to go ahead and click on that subscribe button and the little notification bell so that you will be notified every time a new video goes up, which is every Monday, Wednesday, and sweet Saturday. So, in today's video, I'm gonna make a recipe that is super highly requested. This is like the video or the recipe that I get requested to do the most ever. And that is vegan pasteles. So vegan pasteles are basically, it's like a Puerto Rican type of tamales, basically. And not just Puerto Rican, because Puerto Ricans are not the only ones who make pasteles. There's a couple different Hispanic places that make pasteles, but I'm Puerto Rican, so I'm gonna show you the vegan Puerto Rican way to make pasteles. So, another thing is, quickly I wanted to mention, this video is set up a little differently than the usual video that I make here on my channel, because I would not have made this video, this recipe, if you guys had not requested it so much, because this recipe for pasteles is super like labor intensive and it takes forever to make, which is why I'm not doing it here in my typical setup. I'm gonna do it like back here with the lights differently and whatever. But yeah, so only because you guys requested it so much, that's the reason why I'm making it. But I just want to let you know that it's not in the usual setup, and I hope you guys still enjoy it just the same. And yeah, so let's get veggie. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you quickly the ingredients that we'll be using. So first, you're gonna need 10 green bananas. You're gonna need 1 piece of squash or calabaza, and I'm using acorn squash, about 4 inches thick. And I'm also going to be using 8 medium-sized potatoes and 3 yautillas, which is taro root. And we're going to go ahead and peel everything, and I just peeled everything already, and everything is in this bowl here. And we're going to go ahead and take all of this and slowly, little by little, because my food processor is not that great, I'm going to be chopping everything up and turning it into like a smooth, like a puree almost consistency. I'm adding a little tiny bit of water to make sure that everything mixes well and to make it a little bit softer and smaller pieces. So right here, as you can see, this is the texture that you're going for. It's like everything is nice and chopped up. You don't want any large pieces. And here I'm gonna go ahead and make the sofrito. For my recipe, I have a 1/2 cup of cilantro, 1/2 of a red onion, 1/2 of a red bell pepper, and 3 garlic cloves. And we're gonna go ahead and also add in a touch of oregano, a sprinkle of black pepper, some sazon, which I'm gonna be making my own soon, you guys. For 1/2 a sazon packet for color, 1/2 cup of water. And I'm gonna go ahead and blend this all up until everything is nice and smooth. And we're gonna go ahead and pour this, 1/2 of this mixture, into some vegan grounds. I've actually made my own vegan grounds from grounding up my vegan steak recipe, but you can use any store-bought vegan grounds. And then I'm also going to be adding in, as you can see here, some olives, and I'm just doing like 2 spoonfuls or 1 large spoonful of chopped olives. This is just a preference that I love my pasteles with olives. You don't necessarily have to add this in. And then I'm also going to be adding in 1/2 of a can of garbanzo beans. You can add this all as you're assembling your pasteles, but this is so much easier. And you're going to go ahead and mix this around. You're going to do this pretty much to taste, salt and pepper to taste, adobo, all that good stuff to taste. This recipe is very to taste because the measurements would be off if I told you exact measurements for taste, because this batter here, you could end up with more or less, simply because these root vegetables could be larger or smaller. I'm also adding some adobo, some sazon, a little more sazon, a little garlic powder and onion powder to taste into the mixture now that everything is blended up. And we're gonna go ahead and mix this all up. If your batter at this point, it looks a little too dry, you can go ahead and add a little extra water. I'm also adding in the other 1/2 of that red sofrito mix that I made. And this is also for extra flavor, and you want this texture, the consistency, to be spreadable on this. So if it's too thick, go ahead and add a little touch of water, a little tiny bit at a time, in order to make it this consistency. And here we have our anato, and I have 1/2 cup of vegetable oil And this is achiote, also known as annatto seeds, and I have 4 tablespoons of annatto seeds into the oil. And what you want to do is heat up this oil until it gets to like a simmer. Once it's at a very low, once it hits a simmer, you want to bring the heat to as low as possible. Mix this all around so that all of the color, this is what we want. We just want all of the color to release from the annatto seeds. And then once it's been maybe like 4 or 5 minutes on a very, very low heat, you can go ahead and strain this, but you don't want it to get very dark or brown because that means it has burned. So you're gonna go ahead, strain this really good, and we're gonna put this to the side. Here we have our parchment paper, also known as Pasteles paper, that comes in a roll, but you can use parchment paper or aluminum foil. I'm gonna cut half of the sheet because it was too big. I'm also using banana leaves, which you can find in some supermarkets or a lot of supermarkets in the frozen, like Goya section a lot of times, or Hispanic section. I'm gonna add some of that annatto oil for color and so that your pasteles, masa, batter, or dough, or whatever it's called, doesn't stick to the banana leaf. And we're gonna go ahead and just place that on top of there. The banana leaf adds so much flavor to your pasteles, you have to use banana leaves, even if you use foil. So then we're gonna go ahead, spread our batter or mixture or masa onto our banana leaf, and you just want it to be, just cover most of the leaf, but you don't wanna get it too close to the edges because then it will spill over. We're gonna add a little bit of the filling into the center, and then we're gonna go ahead and fold it on over to itself from edge to edge, and then we're gonna go ahead and fold the little edge of that paper and then fold it onto itself. And I kind of push down a little tiny bit just to get it aligned good, and then we're gonna go ahead and fold the corners. And here I might have filled mine a little tiny bit too much, so if you do this, just fill it a little less to the corners, but here it's just filled a little tiny bit too much to the edges because you want to be able to fold it over just like a smidge more, but it's still held up just fine. We're gonna do 2 of these, so you want to do a pair, and that's how you make these with the parchment paper. So you're gonna do a pair, you're gonna put them face to face on each other, ends that, the open ends on each other, and then you're gonna take some of this food twine or butcher's twine or whatever it's called, and we're gonna go ahead and tie this around like you're kind of doing like a gift wrap. You just want to make sure, it doesn't really matter how you tie it as long as they're not loosening up on each other, and then you just tie it really well, make sure it's nice and secure. All right, and here you have it. This is a pear, or also called a junta. So we're also going to be doing this with aluminum foil. I just put the banana leaf on the inside just like I did with the parchment paper, and now I'm just going to be folding it just like I folded the last one, but just a little tighter because these will not be paired up. So these are going to be single pasteles, and you just want to roll up the edges really, really nice and tight, and just make sure that that center flap is nice and kind of like flat and flush against your pastel. That way that no water goes in because we are going to boil these. So nice and tight is what you want, and this is the easier way to make them. So here we have our pasteles wrapped up like little gifts. I have about 7 or 8 juntas, I believe, which is pears. And then I have some extra batter or extra masa because I did the rest. I did a couple more bananas in there. But I'm just going to put these in a Ziploc bag, freeze them, and make a couple different recipes. And we're going to go ahead and boil our pasteles. So you're just going to go ahead and toss them into boiling water. And then you're gonna let these boil for 45 minutes from the time that the water starts to boil. I'm also gonna cover these like a little so they could cook really well. You just leave a little bit of jar on the side. We're gonna go ahead and open this baby up because this is done. I'm opening up the aluminum foil here. And this is the big reveal. Let's see what it looks like. I'm opening with one hand. Okay. Here we go. Oh my goodness, this looks so good and it smells amazing. This banana leaf, you guys, if you've never worked with banana leaves, they smell amazing when they are cooked, let me tell you. So you just go ahead and lift this up carefully because you don't want to burn yourself. And I'm gonna go ahead and crack this open so that you can see how delicious it looks inside. Oh my goodness. And this tastes just like a regular pastel. So that's it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this highly requested vegan pasteles video. I hope you guys try it out, make it for yourself, and let me know what you think. And don't forget to tag me on Instagram if you make this recipe or any of my other recipes. Hashtag Let's Get Veggie, hashtag Veggie Rolls. I would love to see what you made and love to know what you think about it. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. Talk to you guys soon.